Simon?
All right. So, like Eddie alluded, my names are Simon J. Kamanga. Those are my birth names. But most of the time, people these days they call me Mcsimon, which is a new name I'm learning now to accept. But yeah. So, just a little story about myself. That I'm a 29-year-old youth. That's Zambian born, Eastern Province to be precise, and only came to the city of Lusaka about 2010 there. Okay, and talking about this segment is about youth entrepreneurship. This is something that I was born in a family of business. Literally, I was in business, introduced into business at the age of 8 by my mother into retail store. I was a shopkeeper then through to my grade 12. So I've been in business the whole time. Skipped a bit business, went into employment. I worked with Parmalat for 2 years, 6 months, and I resigned. I went to school, did radiography, health science, finished my program, then chose not to go into employment. I never applied. So I thought to push myself into the business. So Mcsimon's per se started way back in 2015 when I was still a student at Evelyn Horn. I saw to it that there was a problem as men, as students, we would not eat breakfast because we literally have little or no time in the morning times. So I thought to say, okay, how can we solve this problem that we have breakfast? Because I was simply facing the same problem. So I decided to start selling bread rolls, eggs, and sugar toppings, just to cater for everyone. I did that business for 2015 and 2016. I paid my tuition fees, sponsored my sister with that. It really worked out. That was the beginning of Mcsimon's Food Corner, which we have today. Off that, I worked a little bit with a private company providing ultrasound services, various clinics, and I worked in various hospitals as well, providing the service private basis. Then eventually 2017 December, I said I'm hanging my boots. I'm not going to practice my profession anymore. I want to try something different. The birth of Mcsimon's Food Corner now as a takeaway. So from that, I picked up. So basically, Mcsimon's Food Corner, our motto or our promise, our brand is passion for tasty food. So most of the time, I'm asked a question to say, what do you sell? What business are you in? I simply tell them I sell a promise. Because what I have is not the products that we have in the shelves, the products that we have in the displays. What I have is a promise. Passion for tasty food, meaning whatever I give you is certified tasty food. If not tasty, then I don't know. Okay, so that's it with that. So passion for tasty food, that's it. So when you come through, you are guaranteed that you're going to get a tasty meal by the end of the day, properly wrapped up in that pack. We're going to serve you tasty food. So the drive for the business was simply to find ourselves an identity that people can identify us with. So going into the business, I didn't take food and nutrition, no. I did radiography, health science, contrary to what I'm doing. But out of passion for tasty food, I'm doing the food business because I equally had the problem most of the time when I go into town, want to taste food, most guys wouldn't cook it the way I wanted. So I thought, okay, instead of me complaining about the food that is not good, how about if I cook the food that is good? And now we're cooking the food that is good. So words to the outside entrepreneur there, a young youth like me who wants to engage into entrepreneurship is don't limit yourself. Start where you are. Start small, like everyone says, but so small depends on how small it is.
You're talking about starting. You mentioned you were a student at Evelyn Horn.
Yeah.
You started these small supplies of the rolls, the eggs, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then somewhere you stopped. And then in 2017, is it?
Yes.
You now decided to make it to this level.
Yeah.
So how much did it cost you to start? Did it require a lot of capital or?
Okay, so like I was talking about starting. So I started my business in school with a 600 kwacha. That 600 kwacha was actually the money I was supposed to pay the guy I was squatting into the room with. I simply told him to say, I have a 600. I have to either pay you or I order these eggs, sell them, then pay you. Which he said, okay. I put in the 600 into the eggs. Within a week, they were done. I made the profit. I paid the guy. I continued running the business, and that's how it all started. So when I stopped the food business, I was not really just not about business. I was still doing business. We had Mcsimon's exclusives. We were selling clothes, so we would vend around clothes. So I was working at the moment at Kanyama First Level Hospital, where I was providing ultrasound services on private basis. So after work, I was still run around doing the business, saving up the money for the business. So the question he asked to say, how much was it? Was it a lot of money? Yeah, it was a little bit a lot, but we managed. It was actually I started this business with a total sum of 47,000 kwacha. That was back in 2017. I even marked the date then. It was on the 28th of December 2017 when this business started running.
Okay, so this year will be marking 4 years, right?
Into the business.
4 years into the business. How many outlets do you have?
At the moment, we only have 2. We have this one as a mother outlet. Then we have another outlet in Kamwala South at Laveka Junction, right at Fortunate Pub and Grill.
Okay.
Yes.
With 2 outlets, how many people have you managed to employ?
So now with 2 outlets, we have in manpower up to 6 individuals, including me 8.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, because I'm also an employee to the business.
Okay, this is very good that at your age you're able to bring up something that would also help out other youths.
Yeah.
So tell us about the food because you highly emphasize that it's really tasty and whatnot. Tell us about the food that you provide. What food do you provide?
Okay, so our main product, as we would say, is confectionery products. These are things that give us more revenue other than everything. So we have sausage rolls, we have the meat pies, we have the samosas, we do Russian rolls as well, okay, and we do chicken and chips, sausage and chips. We also have our own very red bone Mcsimon's with spicy wings, and the shawarma, of course. That's the shawarma is what most people know us for, the samosas as well. Yeah. So these are the products that we sell. Initially for the samosas, meat pies, Russian rolls, sausage rolls, we make them here. Okay, we don't order anything except flour and these other things. So we make them ourselves in order to make sure that the quality is always maintained. The taste is always maintained because that's our core value in business, tasty food. So in order to ensure that the taste is good, we have to make it ourselves. Yeah?
That's awesome. So you're the only chef for both outlets?
So this is the mother outlet, meaning everything that we sell on the other side is produced here.
Okay.
So in order to maintain quality for both places, not to have situations where, no, this side the shawarma wasn't good, the other time maybe the sauce wasn't good, we ensure that everything is cooked under one pot so that we give out one particular flavor, one particular taste. Yeah?
Let's go back to the point where you were employed and then you said you just decided to put your boots down with employment. What prompted you to do that?
All along I've been in the business cycle, and after from the normal business of grocery, I worked with Parmalat. I was privileged to have experience with how big stores work because I worked as a field marketer. That gave me an opportunity to work in Pick and Pay, Food Lovers, Spa. I also worked in ShopRite. I also worked in game stores, okay, food court department. So with that knowledge and how the system worked, I felt like it was not very good for me. So I thought to say, okay, let me go to school. But when I was in school and how interacting with other civil servants and the people in the service, I felt I didn't really belong there. So the time I worked, I was simply raising funds to start up my own stuff and just be independent.
So if you compare life as an employee and life as an entrepreneur, what is your perspective in regards to those two situations?
My perspective is that both equally, being in employment is good, being an entrepreneur is good, because each side has got its own challenges and advantages. But for me, I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be always at work, thinking and being creative in order to run. Because in business like this, someone can come next door with this particular business with a new idea. How do I stay afloat? I need to remain creative. So I think that with me works well.
Talking about somebody opening up the next door, the industry you've gotten into has a wide range of competition, especially from people that are coming from outside. Let's say the shawarma business has some people that already have an established name and everything that you're going to have to rise above and to remain relevant. So how is it that you're facing this?
Yes, we do face such where people come in, maybe sometimes they even compare, I've been to this place, I've been to this place, but okay. But our core value is, like I already alluded first, say we strive to create our own particular taste. And in this past 3 years, we dedicated ourselves to creating a flavor that people should know us for. So I can rest assure you, if you to test my shawarma today, you definitely go around Lusaka and still come back to test it, because you won't taste anything like this.
Hopefully I'm tasting it today.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I was about to say on my bill, but don't worry, you pay. Support the business.
Judith Nanga says, "This is great stuff. You're speaking, Simon. You're a great example to the youths. I'm encouraged."
Thank you.
Petronella says, "This is encouraging. May God bless all that you do."
Amen.
Martin Bonda says, "This is good indeed. But where can you go for capital in Kitwe, and what are conditions, if any?" So there's somebody that's not having capital. How do you advise them to raise their capital?
Okay. As most scholars of the books have written, have said to say, most of the time we worry much about capital, and yet capital is not really what we need to start a business. We need to have an idea. Okay? Because if you have a brilliant idea, finding capital will not be very much of a problem. Okay? When you have an idea, a good idea, you might have this idea, the big idea, then a small idea that will take you through to the big idea. So for instance, I chose to work for about a year, then quit and go for this idea. Okay? So I had the idea. So even the time I worked with the big man, Mr. Susiku, he knew that I was not going to be there forever. I'm here specifically to raise capital. So that's what I did. So the best I would say to my friend there is stop limiting yourself around capital and start making yourself profitable. Because there is no business that is more profitable than the other, but the businessman himself should be profitable. So you need to invest in yourself. Okay, because there's always a time to learn, then end. So you can simply give a free service somewhere so that you get a skill. Then you can either exchange your skill for the capital that you need by the end of the day. You have a business running.
Interesting. Beatrice Monda says, "Wow, being in business is not an easy thing. It's good he's very determined." Manda Chitemwiko says, "My question is actually, which one should be the capital question?" Somebody is asking, "Are you married?"
Yes, I am married. Very much married with a lot of kids.
Now that you mentioned that you're married and you're into food business, are you the one that's mostly in the kitchen?
Most definitely, just as you found me busy as usual.
Your wife should be lucky then. Okay, Chimonia says, "Inspirational young man. Keep it up, Simon. We need more youths to get involved in business."
Thank you.
Lady Weston says, "Excellent, bro."
Great. I used to be with him at school.
Okay. Josephine says, "Spend Zambia is a free mobile banking powered by government to enable you to." Oh, okay. What is everybody saying? Yes, so in a few years, or should I say in a year, you'll be half a decade into the business.
Yeah.
What will you look back at and say that was my challenging moment?
My most devastating, challenging moment was the moment in 2018. I think about October. Thieves broke into our shop right here and stole literally almost everything. I had to start over again. But something that I told myself was, this business, I opened it to grow it, not to be just a Rivala name, but to be a national-wide brand that people will talk about. And this should grow. So with that, it gave me a drive that even after Batibela that day, we didn't close the shop. We still opened and sold. And later again, after a month or so, again thieves broke in.
Wow.
They stole again, but we didn't close either. We kept running, and with that energy, it really boosted us to work extra hard and double our efforts. And now we are looking at expanding. Okay, yeah.
So when you say expanding and not limiting yourself to be a Livala name, what are
Yes.
some of the strides or some of the steps you've taken in that direction?
Okay, so in preparation to that, our first journey of the business was to create a flavor, which we've done. Now our second journey of the business is assembling a team that should be able to operate without me with my direct input. With my direct input to say, do this, do this. So now we are assembling a team that should work in my absentia. Like right here, there are most of the times I wouldn't be here, but you'll be served exactly everything as if I'm here. So with this spot, we're doing every trial that we can. With our our second store that is in Kamwala South, to be precise, is our third time opening. We had opened a second one earlier somewhere else, which didn't do very well because the system wasn't good. So now that we have this one, we have a system where we have a mother system here. Everything ordered from here taken to the other side, and everything is being monitored properly with a team that is energetic, youthful, and we operate as brothers, people that belong to the business, and make sure we all understand the vision for the business by the end of the day. So key.
So Annie Kamanga says, watching from Monze, a man who is not able to use and develop his mind is bound to be a slave of the other man who uses his mind. Yeah, an inspiration to me.
Okay, that's great.
Charity Dule says, good job you're doing as a young man, Simon. What I feel is that you're doing great. You're doing great as an inspiration.
Okay, that's
so
awesome.
Simon, having been someone that has so much inspiration, so much experience, growing up in a family where at a tender age you are introduced to the business world, experienced employment life, now running your own business, now an employer after being an employee.
Oh yeah.
What is your call to the youth of today?
The call to the youth of today is to say we should not sit back and wait for government to give us jobs. It's a cry that I see almost on a daily basis to say the government doesn't give us employment, the government doesn't do this. But to the other thing which I usually tell myself is that who is the government? We are the government, because the people in government are coming from the society, and from this society they are coming from within our homes into making government. So if we can complain about the leaders that we have today, it's because we've not done the good job as a society. So each and every person, I think we need to let go of a dependence syndrome to say the government should provide, and start working out something for our own in order to help the government provide. So if I have an opportunity like I am today to help the government provide employment, I think that's okay. The only plea that I would say to the government is that they should be able to have a system, strike a system that should give us a balance in business. People that are giving us employment and the people that are simply looking for employment, there should be some advantages. For instance, a young youth like me to start a business, there should be some advantage. Sometimes you find that the cost of just starting up a business, some might be the whole capital someone was raised to run a business. No, you have to do parkers, cancel stuff, all these. Yes, they are good to be there, but if for startups they can be maybe regulated in a certain way, yeah, that would really push a lot of people of my kind to be there.
Okay, awesome. So, how do people get in touch with you? I'm sure a number of people after hearing about you now would want to test the tasty shawarma that
Of
you
course, of course.
and everything, but perhaps they're not able to come to Livala. How would they get in touch with you? Do you do deliveries?
So talking of deliveries, we've made progress with our team. By next week, we will be officially launched on the Afri Delivery app, which should be offering deliveries. Meaning that if you are in town and you need to have a bite of our food, you simply go onto Afri Delivery app. You find our store there, Mcsimon's Food Corner. Order your meal, it will be delivered to you. Of course, at a fee, because they have their own rates how they charge. But a bigger picture is that by late this year, we should have our own bikes for delivery within 5 Ks from the business place.
Oh, yes. Awesome. That is very interesting.
So talking of, again, maybe to know about us, we also have a Facebook page, Mcsimon's Food Corner. Yeah, you can follow us there, use our WhatsApp button there, get more quality live locations to this place. We are always there to attend to you.
So, in the past few weeks, a lot of other entrepreneurs have highlighted how Facebook and other social media ads have helped them grow their business.
Yes.
How has it worked to your advantage?
Precisely, I use much of Facebook myself. And, I'm not much of a Twitter and the Instagram guy. I use much of Facebook. And Facebook has really given me business. It has made it easier for me to reach people that are not within Livala. So we have a lot of orders that come from Facebook. And customers that come here, test the food, and become our regular customers. So Facebook has made us have customers in Sri Lanka, have customers in Kafue, have customers in Twin Palm and Ibex. People drive all different areas where they stay in to just come and get the food through Facebook. So Facebook is a tool as of today's business. You need to have a Facebook page. You need to have Facebook presence, of course.
As we get to the end of the show, please tell people how they can reach you. If you have numbers that they can call, the exact locations and whatnot.
Okay, so if you are coming into our store for our pickups, we are along Yotamlea Road, right at Vinter's Minmat, commonly known as Baluchi. And maybe for those that might not know exactly where Yotamlea Road is, that's a road that connects from DK School to Ring Road. So as you are along that road, joining to Ring Road, just about 50 meters before Ring Road, on your left, you should be able to see Mcsimon's Food Corner branded with some Fruticana brands. As Big Tree is also one of our partners in this business, yes. So that is why we have our Fruticana brands. You might be asking. If you want to reach us on sale, you can either call us on 0977 875806. That's also our business WhatsApp line. You can WhatsApp us. Also on our direct line personally, 0972 50 7525. Those are our numbers that you can use. Or better still, Facebook, Mcsimon's Food Corner. And lastly, I would say is if you have the desire to be in business, don't hold back. Start small. It will definitely give you results. And another advice, if you're a student in school, concentrate onto your school. There are a lot of people that are saying today, entrepreneurship doesn't need you to have education. It needs you to have education. It works both ways. Because there are certain things that you need to process because you went to school. There are certain things that you don't need to process because you went to school. Yes, you can hire people that are well educated, but if you're not informed as a business owner, that will be very challenging to run a bigger business, because the business cannot grow bigger than the owner of the business. So the mind in the business has to be bigger than the business. The more you grow, the more the business grows. There's no way the business will grow past you. then a business will capsize you.
Okay. Lucky One Deeper says our very own product. Happy for you, bro. Jason Simon Kamanga, Edward Piri, come you see your own. Are these your people?
Yeah, Jason Simon Kamanga, that's my young brother, as you can say, Simon Kamanga.
All right, it has been amazing to have you. I hope more and more youths have been inspired by your story and more people come and test your tasty food.
Of course, very humbled.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.